So it's very interesting because I'm downloading a lot of stuff about the financial matrix and our financial realities. And the core basically is that for me, it's just so mind blowing. And of course, we know it. But have we ever truly conceived about the impact of it? One of the first things I ever saw in the spiritual world when I went from hospital pharmacist to becoming more spiritual was that a lot of spiritual people have resistance towards money. And I understand why. There's a lot of shit going on in the world when it comes to money. However, for a few months now, I've been choosing so deeply on a deep cellular level to go all in on my heart, whatever it fucking takes. And it's been a fucking whole roller coaster rise galore of emotions and not feeling worthy, and also having to look in the eye all the emotions that I've never felt through that kept me separated from my own heart, where I'd already given up, where I'd settled, where I basically truly, like on some sort of level, and it's probably not even mine, but my ancestors, but I did have to conceive it and become aware of it. I have to talk slower because I'm saying a lot of good stuff. So I became aware of the fact that on a deep cellular level, I felt that truly going after my heart's desires was not worth it. Because when I was younger and I was still fully embodying that self-expression from the heart, I encountered this physical reality that is so harsh and so not built on sustaining and creating our heart's desires. It basically sucks us dry. And I encountered the situations again with my parents where they couldn't deal with certain things and emotions. No blame here, just awareness. At that time, because they were busy trying to create a life and feeding 3 children and paying for school and going to work, and that there was no, also we were living in a very different world. It was way more dense. There was no, oh honey, of course you can fulfill your heart's desires. There was so much hidden fear, hidden emotions, so much hidden trauma, basically. You know, I come from 2 different war lines. So there was a lot of survival going on in the parents of my parents. You know, and my parents are the first generation who, after the war, like, were truly creating more after their parents had, like, created a basic foundation again. And I can build on that foundation even further. But I felt on such a deep cellular level how something in me truly believed that it was just not worth the fuss. It was not worth the fighting. It was not worth the reaction from the outside world to truly go after my heart's desires. And I had to relive all those moments, not through the head, but through my emotional body. All these moments where I encountered hatred, jealousy, no time, dissociation. Everywhere you as a child didn't receive love for your heart's desires, basically. Again, no wrong or right. It's just what happened. And where you started to believe again, and more, that going after your heart's desires was only going to create pain and suffering for you and everybody around you. And that is such a big layer in this collective, which we are all connected to. And if you know me and if you see my life, you know that I already live very much along the path of my heart. And can you imagine that even me, I discovered a deeper level in which I felt it was not worth it. It was not worth it going through this financial matrix of this reality to sustain my heart's desires. But I've come to a point where my heart has become so overwhelmingly loud that I am willing to go through any kind of abuse, pain, hatred, aloneness, separation, whatever people throw at me, as long as I keep choosing my heart's desires. And is it going to be worth it in the end? I don't fucking know. I'm not there yet. I just know that I have to be courageous. I only know that I have to at least fucking try, because I've already tried all the rest. And it never truly fulfilled me. And the only thing that can truly fulfill us is when we live our heart's desires. And for who has seen the Book of Eli, you know, like, it's a beautiful movie. At least I think it's a beautiful movie. It's long and it can be a little bit slow, but this guy walks his path and nobody understands his path until the very fucking end. And then people understand how big his soul mission was. And he was not walking by sight, he was walking by faith. And that is the path of the heart. It doesn't make any fucking sense. If it would, then it means that somebody else had already done it and already created it. So you didn't need to come to fucking earth to create whatever it is that you're creating. So the heart it's so fragile and it needs so much protection. And it's like you are your heart, basically. And your entire body is the world that we live in. And all these, I mean, how many people have autoimmune diseases right now? Autoimmune. It is you attacking your own immune system. So the immune system that you have to keep you safe is being attacked by something within yourself. But it means that you already let something in, negative self-talk, toxins, deception, lies, untruths about yourself. You already let it in, and it's attacking your heart, it's attacking you. And you don't even have the right to defend yourself. So you've suppressed your anger, you've suppressed your boundaries, you've suppressed your healthy barriers. And then again, back to the matrix, we were talking about the financial matrix. In order, not for everybody, but for some of us who have really, truly big dreams or things that are living in our heart that just want to, you know, this body is a portal. Yes, you can see me as Marika, but you can also just see me as a woman talking to you right now, or a person, you know. It could be anything talking through my mouth right now. It could be an alien, it could be a reptilian, it could be an Anunnaki, it could be my spirit, it could be my soul, it could be an entity, could be my great grandmother. You don't know what is talking through me. It could actually be a combination of all of them. It could be my inner child. It could be, you know, my infinite being. I know who's talking to you right now, but as you can see, I don't see myself as just an ego or a personality. There's so many facets of me that come together that I had to combine into one in order to put all the dominoes in one row. So when we do like that, the soul path and can align with the heart. I had to figure out all these little parts within myself that are not aligning with my heart's desires. And I had to make peace with that. That's the only peace you have to create in the world. Peace within yourself. And choosing peace above anything else. And I don't mean like staying in your comfort zone kind of peace. I mean looking everything fucking in the eye, receiving it, learning how to transmute it so you can keep your peace and keep your vagal tone even in the discord and distress and chaos in this world. That's when you become powerful. That's when you create more peace on this planet, in yourself and on the entire planet. But again, we were talking about the financial reality. So why is that so important? Many people, they don't want to connect to a structure because we think we can escape the matrix. Fucking forget it. If you are in a physical reality, you need a matrix. There's always a matrix. A matrix is basically a system, a structure, Yeah? It's like a carpet. A carpet is woven into each other. Yeah? So there's always a fishnet or a carpet or some sort of structure that helps energy to go through these pathways in order to create a certain shape and density in this physical reality for you to experience. This is why it's so important to learn to read energy, because everything has a frequency to it. And we need to learn to read those frequencies. We need to learn how to deal with them and need to learn how we can channel that through this body. Because in the end, and that is also something that most people don't know, this physical reality is here to serve us. And we're brainwashed to believe that we're here to serve the physical reality. No, honey. I'm not going to say the physical reality is your bitch, but basically it is, you know. And we are going through life thinking we're the bitch, you know, and that we're the slave of the financial system. But the financial system, if you would truly understand it, it's as big as a little ant. You can eat it up and chew it and swallow it, and the next day it's poo. Yeah? And that's the thing. I had this mind-blowing realization, and it's so logical, but have we ever truly connected the dots that the financial matrix was created by men? It was created by men. We women, until 1956, were not allowed, and that's in Holland, I don't know other countries, were not allowed to have our own bank account, which means we were not connected to this collective consciousness that we call money. From 1838 until 1956, that is 118 years in which the men were the only ones creating this structure by men, for men, with a totalitarian regime. And I was thinking about how mind-blowing that is and what the consequences are, because I live in Siwa, where the entire city and the shops and everything, it's run by men, ruled by men, created by men, maintained by men. It is lacking so much feminine energy, I can tell you, in so many different ways. Just a small example that I was thinking about, would a woman ever create a law? A woman who probably has children, would she create a law in which when she dies, the money that she worked really hard for to earn, that she paid taxes over, that every time she spent or bought something with the money that she already bought or paid taxes over when she received it, is also paying taxes over everything every time she buys milk or eggs or a book, that when she dies, 25%, a quarter of that money is not going to her children, but to the government, an external something to people that she has never seen? Fuck no. A woman could never create a law like that. A woman would also never be able to create laws in which there's a certain group in the population that is benefiting enormously by certain rules, and others have to work really hard in order to basically sustain and maintain the rich people. A woman could never do that. It is only men who can be completely living in boxes and who don't have the emotional capacity to consider what is right or wrong. You know, like when you're not connected to your emotions, and I'm not saying that all women are connected to their emotions, but I mean, more than men. We all know why. We don't have to need to go into that now. If you don't have the emotional capacity to understand in any given situation what is right and wrong, you need to create laws. And every time there is another, you know, like little thing, you need to create more laws to determine what is right and wrong. A woman would create a completely different structure in order to sustain a collective of human beings in a financial way. This financial reality and matrix, and this is why so many of us are dissociated from the financial reality, from this financial matrix, because we don't want to connect to it, because it's not created to sustain us. It is abuse. It is abusive. It is full of lies. It is full of demons. It's full of unconsciousness. So when you connect to it, there is so much that will go through your system that if you don't look at the emotions that are coming up in your body to transform the lower to the higher, it will take over and it will become a part of you, and you become part of that financial system, including all the laws. And women, we have a womb. If we would enter massively with the consciousness that we have right now into this financial matrix, if we would all completely be willing to connect to this financial matrix, but not to play the laws that others created for us, but to actually feel through all the abuse, all the wrongness, all the demons, all the unconsciousness, and bring everything to the light to transform it. Holy fuck, that system would transform in a heartbeat. And I think this is what we've been working towards for tens of years now, in which, my mother and that generation was the first generation of women who, were truly having their bank accounts and making their own money, but still in a system where they also had to do the kids, also had to do the household, groceries, cooking, all that stuff. Yeah. So they weren't doing it from a place of consciousness. They were doing it from a place of survival and need and lack. And we're the generation that has, most of us, not all, the beautiful position in which we have space to move around and to realize that we can play. Just as you can play with the emotional matrix, with a sexual matrix, with, your uncomfortable, you can play with this financial matrix. What is it that we can create? How can this financial matrix start to work for us instead of feeling it is always against us? How can this financial matrix sustain you? How can this financial matrix create greater, more expansion? And I'm not about, everybody has to get the same income. No, I do believe that there's people who work harder for certain things, and for me, I'm okay with them having more than me. It's about me looking myself in the eye and knowing that if I want more, I have to create more. And whether you do it from masculine energy and a lot of doing, or from a feminine energy and manifesting, that is different pathways to discover and play with. But I do believe that we can create a financial matrix, and that is also what is going to happen on the planet right now when we're going from Capricorn, Pluto from Capricorn to Aquarius, the new creation of this financial matrix that is gonna sustain the new world, that can handle, that actually listens to our wants and needs, that listens to, creating the new instead of holding intact the old, which is basically what the old financial matrix is all about. So I dare you to connect to that financial matrix. And for everybody who's done ayahuasca or big, dark shadow work, you know that you can handle this too. You're a fucking queen who can handle this too. We can. So what will a financial matrix look like? That is in divine union between masculine and feminine energies. I'm looking forward to seeing this be created on the planet.